Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Demise again, playing on this Naga Berserker, and there's random stuff we can do. So I was told that I missed a couple of artifacts, so I'm just gonna go ahead and look at these real quick. Hand axe, spear, something, orc. Yeah, so I was told that there was a slaying +5 amulet, but that's actually a terrible amulet for everything but the slaying +5. Regen MP is completely useless. RC minus is actually bad. R poise is not useful in a Naga. Strength plus two is not great. So yeah, I think I did see that, but it wasn't that great. I also missed an unrandom +7 Curia's mail code device healing ×2 and RC plus. Um, that's pretty good with regen. I don't know how much it's gonna be on top of this plate mail though. It's not probably not as good as Slay +3. It might be. Nah, we don't really need it. I'm not that much of a fan of unrandots. Oh, right, we were at Lair for a reason. I completely forgot about that. We actually have to do our runes already, so this is this is part 2, and I have to do runes. Both are going to be fairly straightforward. I think Swamp will go first. Might as well, because Swamp is generally considered pretty easy. I would still say that Spider is easier, but I don't know. I feel like doing Swamp for some reason. I have a good feeling about it. We have some scrolls of enchant armor. We're gonna wait for a branded version of the Naga botting because that's pretty sick. If we could get one of like flying or maybe like fire resistance, that'd be really great because that would give us just enough resistances to do Zot and stuff, which would be pretty good. Got a gift. It's just a regular spear, all good. I'm not gonna play as quickly as before because I think it's unnecessary to play quickly. It does make it more difficult for me to, you know, talk and stuff. Oh, good. We got shafted. I love being shafted. Right, guys? Haha. No. Uh, Gonna have to kill this stuff. Alright, I'm gonna have to move my head backwards a little bit because I feel like I'm standing really close to the mic, or sitting close to the mic. My voice needs to have a bit of time to, like, adjust, I guess, to the thing. +5 dex, so that goes from 38.5 to 38.5. Okay, it makes no difference whatsoever. Do we want more accuracy or do we want more damage? And the answer is we want more damage because I think that's how stat scaling works now. And also, I don't know. It's not really a big difference, but I feel as if the Demon Trident would be slightly better with damage because um, I I'm not sure, but it feels like Demon Trident's very accurate already, so there's no point. We stepped on a Zot trap, which is pretty rare these days, but it didn't do anything bad to us, which is good. Hopefully, yes, nothing good, nothing bad happened. We're on the lookout for a Naga barding, and then I think once that happens, and I guess a cloak, but once that happens, our equips will be complete, and we will be the ultimate Naga. Interestingly enough, we already have 2 pips of MR, despite having a MR minus item, so we must have a lot of MR today. A lot of enemies coming near me, but I can just annihilate them. This character is pretty broken. A Berserker that has good defense is pretty insane, and this one has very strong defense. Oh, we're on Swamp 4 already, crap. I didn't notice that. Whoops. Let's invisibility. And Berserk near the Thorn Hunter, because that's quite a dangerous enemy. We're gonna back off up to the upstairs. I think we're strong enough to just take this rune by force, rather than clearing the whole area around it. We are very powerful right now. But we will show a bit of respect towards these guys. We won't like take them all on at once. I feel like Hubris here would get us not killed, but lacking a couple of consumables that we wouldn't otherwise have. Oh, excuse me. Just had a pineapple, and now my like throat feels really broken. Okay, cool. We got the rune. Very easy, very straightforward. We didn't even have to full clear the the rune, which is really nice. Also, I must say, these swamp worms not being moving upstairs now, very good change. I really like it. I like the fact that they can. Sorry, I like the fact that swamp worms can leave the water because it makes it a lot less tedious for me. I hate enemies that are stuck in water because you just have to like keep fighting them in the water or when they're in the water. Makes for a very frustrating gameplay. Good change. Potion of cancellation. Do we have any cool wands? Not really. Okay. Let's go and do Spider's Nest now. Just casually go through it. I don't think there's anything in here that can really do anything to us. Maybe a Tarantella with a couple of like poorly timed orbs of destruction could kill us, but other than that, I don't see any real way to die here. And I'm not speaking out of like overconfidence. I'm just saying, if you saw how quickly I did Swamp, like Spider should not really be any more difficult than that. I'd say that the worst, we could have gotten pretty unlucky and gotten Shoals, and Shoals would have been kind of bad for us. Or we could have gotten a little bit more lucky and gotten Snake instead of Spider. It would have been a little bit harder, but that's okay, because what we could have done is gotten a Naga botting out of someone like Vashnia. Got shafted again, that's pretty bad, but we don't really care too much, because we are broken as hell. That's a scroll, I'm not sure what it is. It's either a Holy Word, Silence, or Vulnerability. Either way, it's not a really good scroll. I'm going to read it right now. Immense Power. Okay, so the last scroll we don't know is Vulnerability, and that's not a good scroll either, so it's not really worth considering. MR minus is usually bad for you, the player, rather than enemies. I guess we'll go up, just because we might as well. We skipped Lust. I realize now that we just skipped a floor of Swamp altogether, but I guess we'll be conservative and clear this one as well. This spider, even though we got shafted again. And hey, look, we got repaid by a manual of poison magic. Wow, what a completely useless thing to have. Drop that, please. These orbs of destruction are hurting a little bit, but thanks to our shield and high AC and stuff, we're okay. This is kind of a bad spot to be in. There's a lot of enemies surrounding us. Thankfully, we have a lot of HP and a lot of armor, so we just annihilate everything. Okay, that's not a good place to be. I'm actually gonna X off this place because it's probably not good to explore around it. We do want to pick up that enchant armor though, so I'm gonna go get it. I guess we can go downstairs. We don't really need anything from this floor anyway. Let's go over here and yeah, continue on our merry way. Interestingly enough, we got corroded even though we have arc corrosion. That kind of sucks. It implies that we aren't really gonna benefit from this. I'm not sure if Entropy Weavers can actually go through resist corrosion. It sucks either way. Protection from cold is a decent resist. We might actually not need the strength and we might just ditch the strength ring and put on something else, like fire protection or something, just to have that extra resistance. Right now we'll leave it because we don't actually need any resistance in this place other than our poise, but you know, it's a good consideration. We probably want Dex. There's no real difference from what I can see between Dex and Strength, but whatever. It's not actually that big a deal. I usually just put the points into whatever's lower, so I have a kind of balanced character. It's really not. Like, I can't stress how ineffectual my choices are. Like, I didn't even get a single stat boost from that. Like, I didn't get EV or AC or shield. Resist corrosion is decent, but I think that the corrosion resistance is unnecessary, considering I already have... I have no idea. Why? It should be... Interestingly enough, as you can see, the ring of resist corrosion is still green, despite the fact that I have arc corrosion on my armor. That implies that it's still useful, which is really weird. That might be a bug. So if someone knows how to report that to devs, you might want to check that out. I always had a feeling that artifact resist corrosion is not as good as just having a straight up amulet or in this case a ring. for some reason, and that might also be a bug, or it might be intended, I'm not sure. I'm going to back off over here and disintegrate my way into this wall and just fight here. Use Trog's Hand because it'll give us regen over the long haul. Managed to kill everything without taking pretty much any damage, which is really nice. Focusing on just staying alive. I'm aware that, wow, we got pretty lucky with those confused walks. Gonna use regen again, even though we're at full health, just because we don't want to take unnecessary damage. We have way too many slots in our inventory. Let's drop the Ring of Strength and ID a potion. It's a potion of magic. It's probably not useful. We'll keep it anyway. Wand of Flame can go. And there are all these spiders that pretty much die in one hit or two hits. Such is the power of a character that can already do Zot, equip-wise. I have all the late game stuff. I'm just pretty much waiting for the end game to come. It's quite once you get past like early game Naga, they're actually very strong as a race. They're tanky and they have like it feels like they're just really powerful for some reason. Their constriction is particularly good. It makes them really strong in 1v1s because you can just constrict and then fight them and you do extra damage. Trog's gifting us like utterly shit stuff, which is hilarious. Doesn't know what demon tridents are, so he's just giving us regular ones. There's the rune. Don't have to explore the other half. It's not necessary. So we're gonna actually just go back to lair. So that's 2 runes done in like 10 minutes. Oh, 11. Yeah, there we go. Or 12. Somewhere along those lines. Pretty easy. We gotta do vaults now. We don't really need the enchant armor, but I guess we'll keep it on us. Food can probably go. No, eat the meat ration in our inventory. Let's see. Anything in our inventory we want to get rid of. Brilliance might need to go. Or it doesn't need to go, but it can go. This is a very bad spot for us. We're going to summon a Brother in Arms because I don't trust myself to survive this. If we get Abyss, we could die. Abyss is quite bad for a Naga, especially one with no magic. So I'm not actually going to do it this game. Gasp. I'm going to go ahead and do Slime instead. I may have picked Vaults to do as my 3rd rune, but that's a really bad idea actually. No, never mind. Nagas generally have difficulty with Vaults as well because of their slowness. It's doable, but it's painful. Even more so as a Naga. I wonder what's actually making this Naga so strong, other than the equips, of course. I'm actually struggling to find an answer that satisfies me. I'm gonna summon a Brother in Arms here because I don't like being surrounded so much. Even though, again, this is a super safe fight. I'm in a position now where I can just safely handle things. I'm gonna Berserk this Lich because I don't want to take a risk. This is like kind of the power spike, like the power level where you can pretty much do whatever you want and not get punished for it. I'm surrounded. I'm gonna summon a Brother in Arms again, just to fight through this. With this much regen though, I doubt anything here can kill me easily. It would be quite difficult at least. That's a identify scroll. I'd rather just, I can get marked briefly to get an ID scroll. It's probably worth it. Especially because I already got marked. It's less like effective because I've already drawn stuff to me. Drawing stuff to me again won't really do much more. I got marked again. Damn it. I have 2 pips of MR. This is a lot of marking for that many pips. This is like on par with 1 pip of MR. At least the number of times I've been marked. That was a treasure trove. It requires a +5 demon whip. I can actually afford to make one, so I will probably be going into there if I remember. If I do find a demon whip and if I do find a demon whip and I don't go into the trove, someone let me know in the comments so I can just go ahead and quickly do that. But that might be later, not right now. Gonna set this thing on fire and then kill him. Yes, there are strategies I can use with a book. I have mentioned this before in Berserkers, but like it's not been necessary on this character, so I just haven't done it. You can like chuck your book at the ground, wait for a guy to step on it, set the book on fire with him on it. It's pretty good. Make your own funeral pyre. As a hunting sling, that's not interesting. Saint Roka can't see invisible, but he also can't see around corners, so wow, look at that, we just melee him. Damn, this character is a demon. Wow. Broadaxe of Distortion, that could have been bad. Unfortunately, I didn't even get any force more prompts, so I didn't see that he had Distortion. Usually I can tell that something has Distortion by the speed of the combat. By like checking how many force mauls I get, I can kind of guess that they have Distortion at a glance. Which saves time, but whatever. Not a big deal. Nothing in here that's useful. Man, we have gotten pretty bad shops, I think, this game. At least from my memory. This could be bad, but I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, I thought we were in trouble. Pick up this shield because I want to see if it's good. As you can see, the shield for Donald's shield, the tile for Donald's shield is different. That's why I was considering it, and then I forgot that I had a ridiculously overpowered shield already, so I didn't have to bother. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and just regen and fight. Regen is really good for those prolonged fights, and it stacks on top of my amulet, which makes me basically unkillable for those 50 or so turns. Gonna summon a Brawler in Arms here because, again, don't feel safe. Completely fine with dropping Trog Piety. I'm used to the god enough that like there's even at like 1 pip I don't feel too uncomfortable. I didn't want to berserk there in case the fight got dragged out. This is quite scary. Let's fear and try to head upstairs. That works, kind of. That was pretty poorly handled, but had the situation gotten any worse, I probably would have just. Oops. Had the situation gotten any worse, I would have just blinked away, I think. Okay, this fight might actually be dangerous if there's that many enemies around me. I'm going to switch to the protection from fire because I think that's better than cold and vaults. Fire just tends to be worse of an element to be fighting. I should have regen there, but oh well. So many things to consider now. God damn. Alright, cool. Let's get this thing moving. Got marked again, but it shouldn't be too bad. We've explored most of the floors, so marking doesn't really do much. They can't come to me if they're dead. Interestingly enough, these guys didn't get marked, even though I was like right next to them. Really makes you wonder how long the range for marking is. Obviously I don't check, but I have a vague idea of how much it attracts. Oh well, let's continue on. I'm going to use regen here for the MR. The MR++ is pretty useful for against the Ogre Mage because it stops potential abyssing. Even though most Ogre Mages don't run Abyss, it's always good to assume they do. I think you can guess based on their spell set. I think if they can cast Sting and Poison and Lightning Bolt, they can Abyss you. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Though that might be from an archaic. That might be an archaic idea. They might have replaced that since I last checked. I'll actually check on the next Ogre Mage I see. I'll see if it actually has predetermined spell sets. I think it does, but you know, you never know. With Trunk, things change. Like one day you could come back to the game and be like, oh my god, the only playable character is Dog, and then that's just your life now. You have to find the old result as a dog. Unfortunately, that's just how the nature of Trunk is. So many things change. Like changelog. All races removed, all classes are removed. Only play as Dog Searcher, and your only ability is Sniff, and you can't attack. Like that's, I would play that game. Someone make that, and I'll play it. I'll play it, but only if it is exactly like Dungeon Crawl Stones. Except for the fact that I play as a dog. And I can't play as anything else. And the dog can't attack. Yes, these are all good features. It would make for quote-unquote interesting decisions, windows of opportunity, other random bullshit buzzwords. God, I love when people have buzzwords. It's just so good. Because you just hear it and it's like, this is very nice to listen to, but I know that this guy has no idea what the hell's going on. And neither do I, to be honest. For those of you that aren't aware, a buzzword is exactly like that. It's just a word that you say, and it sounds nice, and then doesn't do anything else. Alright, I'm rambling again, because this Vaults is honestly so straightforward. It's not much to do. Just kind of sitting here, laughing, having a bit of fun. This Naga's like, oh, look, I'm slow, haha. Doesn't really matter though, because I'm a Naga now. Yay! Mid-game Naga is actually really fun. Once you get, yeah, like I said, once you get past like Lair, Naga's pretty decent. Hey, a Demon Trident of Anti-Magic. That's actually a good pickup because it helps us against Orbs of Fire. We won't really enchant it because we don't need to, but we might, just because. Anti-Magic is a decent pickup. It's the only other brand I'd consider other than Electrocution on this Demon Trident. Maybe Vampiric, I guess. But if we went Vampiric, we'd go for that Horbuck that we got. The on Randart that doubles our device healing, I think. If that works with Vampiric and Regen, we would have an absolute monster on our hands. Like, just healing 30 or 40 every turn. Okay, let's see what this thing is. Oh, okay, so it does have, Ogre Mages do have preset spells. So as you can see, you can actually tell which one has Abyssing. There's only book 4 has Abyssment. It has a 9% chance to Abyss me. And it can only do that if it has Sting in its inventory, in its book of spells. So if it can Sting and Lightning Bolt you, you're in bad shape. Generally, Lightning Bolt means that it has some kind of nasty hex anyway. But yeah, 9% chance to hex is not that good. Nothing in here that's useful. Damn, we have not a lot of good ones. Oh well, can't ask for everything. We're in Vaults 4 already, and we are not struggling at all, which is pretty awesome. File of Floods could be a good pickup. And we'll actually start training Evo now. We have 2 of the quote-unquote good evocables, so that makes it worth it. We got berserked by something, I'm not sure what, but Trog makes our berserks pure, so killing stuff actually elongates our berserk, unlike normal berserking. And also, we don't pass out when we berserk, after we berserk, because we're with Trog. So yeah, being berserker is actually pretty good on this character. There are a lot of berserk mechanics that no one really mentions, and for the sake of simplicity, I probably won't mention either. Ow. Ow. Etton's hurt. Gonna cast Regen here. That was a Titan. Titan's hurt. They really suck. They have like Airstrike and Lightning Bolt and all this other cool stuff. Sort of Zolgranok, we're not really interested in. What's his name? Zongoldrock. Something like that. We don't need this blowgun, it's pretty much useless at this point. There's a Draconian here, we don't know why. We must have gotten 21 slaying, 21 fighting. Resist Corrosion, Strength, Int, Stealth, that's better than our current Resist Corrosion, but it's not much other than that. Ring of Stealth is useless because it's invalidated by the Ring of Law. Eat the meat ration, eat some fruits, eat some other stuff. Nothing much in here. Pretty reasonable ring, but it's not going to be used. This seems to be a big vault. I know that on the left and right there are a ton of stuff. A ton of things. I'm going to actually teleport here because I know there's a lot of reinforcements in that area, so I'm not going to bother trying to risk it. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. This Vault 4 is actually quite long compared to the rest of the vaults. I feel like I've been in here for like a good 5-10 minutes. Use magic resistance, even though it's not going to help us much. Let's get strength, why not? It doesn't matter at all. There's a whole bunch of stuff here and I can't kill it. They're all summons, which is really annoying. Gonna have to kill these summoners here. That's gonna help us take care of these guys. And there you go. Like I said, common trash. I've said this before. Common trash is really strong when it has an 8-tile surround on you, and you're not wielding an axe. So I was taken out by like low-level summons pretty much. and it was actually quite difficult for me to handle. I may have also been corroded, I wasn't paying attention. All our equip slots are actually filled. We're looking for straight upgrades at this point, not anything else. I had an idea just then, but I immediately lost it because I'm really bad at that kind of thing. Was that distortion? Yeah, it was. Yeah, as you can see, that I like had a mini pause there, and I was like, "Is that distortion?" Question mark. There should be more enemies in here, pretty high level ones, so I need to be a bit careful about how I deal with this. Though I probably emptied the chamber already. Alright, there's nothing much in here, just some useless wands. There's boots here, which is not useful for us. Probably is running, considering, my luck. And now we've completed the vaults, and all that's left is depths, and following that, I believe, Zot. Third rune and Zot. So next episode, or part, whatever you want to call it, is going to be depths and the third rune, and then the next video after that should be Zot, unless we die halfway through, and god damn it if that happens. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you had as much fun watching this as I had playing, because damn, Berserker is nice and calming. Yeah, so having said all that, I'll see you tomorrow, right?